Welcome back to Angels Say channel. I'm so glad you're here today. I don't believe in coincidences, and neither should you. If you found this video, there is something heaven needs you to hear. This message about someone returning from your past in August is meant specifically for you. And it's not random. It's not chance. It's divine orchestration. You're being prepared for it in this very moment. Before we begin, I want to invite you to type, "I am ready," in the comments as a powerful act of faith. Declare it right now. Let the heavens hear your agreement. When you say, "I am ready," you're aligning with a higher purpose. You're stepping into the truth of what's being spoken over your life today. This message is not for the crowd. It's for the chosen. You are chosen. Now take a deep breath with me. You're not watching this video by accident. You've been called here because your heart has been carrying questions. You've been wondering about certain people from your past, haven't you? People who once held significance in your journey. People who left imprints on your soul. The divine messengers have been whispering to me about a reunion that's being orchestrated in the spiritual realm. Someone from your past is preparing to re-enter your life, and August holds the key to this divine appointment. Type "I believe" in the comments if you can feel the truth of these words resonating in your spirit. The angels want you to know that nothing in your life is wasted. Every encounter, every relationship, every season has been preparation for what's coming. That person from your past, they've been on their own journey too. They've been growing, learning, evolving, and now the divine timing is aligning for your paths to cross once more. But this time, it will be different. This time, you're both carrying new wisdom, new understanding, new perspective. The celestial beings that guide and guard your journey have been working behind the scenes. They've been clearing pathways, removing obstacles, and creating divine opportunities for this reunion to take place. Can you feel it? That subtle shift in the atmosphere around you? That's the energy of anticipation. That's the universe responding to what's being set in motion. Type "I feel it" if you sense that shift happening even now as you listen to these words. Let me tell you something important. This reunion isn't happening by chance. It's happening by design. There's purpose in it. There's intention behind it. The divine realm doesn't orchestrate encounters without reason. This person is returning to your life because there's unfinished soul business between you. There are lessons still to be learned, growth still to be experienced, healing still to be received. And August marks the divine timing for this next chapter to begin. Now, I want you to understand that this reunion might not look the way you expect. It might come through a message, a phone call, a chance encounter, or even through social media. The method isn't what matters. What matters is that you're ready to receive what this reunion has to offer. Type "I am open" in the comments if you're willing to release your expectations and embrace whatever form this divine appointment takes. You see, the angels have been watching you. They've seen your growth. They've witnessed your transformation. They've celebrated your resilience, and they know that you're ready now for what you weren't ready for before. This person from your past is returning at a time when you have the wisdom to understand what you couldn't understand then. You have the strength to handle what you couldn't handle then. You have the perspective to appreciate what you couldn't appreciate then. The divine timing of August is significant. It's a month of harvest, a time when the seeds planted in earlier seasons come to fruition. It's a month when the veil between what was and what will be grows thin. It's a month of transition, of preparation for the final months of the year. And it's in this sacred time that the reunion with your past will unfold. Type, I trust divine timing, if you're surrendering to the perfect orchestration of this divine appointment. Now, I want to address the questions that might be stirring in your heart. You might be wondering, which person from my past? Is it someone I've been thinking about? Is it someone I've tried to forget? Is it someone I've been hoping would return? The answer is nestled within your own intuition. As you listen to these words, pay attention to the names and faces that arise in your mind. Notice the sensations in your body when certain memories surface. Your soul knows. Your spirit recognizes the truth. Trust what resonates within you. Some of you are feeling excitement at the thought of this reunion. Others are feeling apprehension. Some are curious, while others are cautious. All of these responses are valid. All of these emotions are part of your preparation. Type, I honor my feelings, in the comments to acknowledge the wisdom in your emotional response to this divine message. Let me assure you of something important. This reunion is not meant to disrupt your peace. It's not designed to reopen old wounds or resurrect old pain. This person isn't returning to set you back or to undo your progress. They're returning because both of you have evolved to a place where something new and meaningful can be created from the foundation of your shared history. The divine realm doesn't orchestrate reunions that harm. It orchestrates reunions that heal, that illuminate, that elevate. Now let's talk about how to prepare for this divine appointment. The first step is awareness, which you're gaining right now through this message. The second step is acceptance, accepting that this reunion is part of your journey, part of your growth, part of your purpose. The third step is alignment, aligning your energy, your thoughts, your expectations with the highest good that can come from this encounter. Type, I am aligning, if you're willing to prepare your heart and mind for what's coming. In the weeks leading up to August, pay attention to your dreams. The divine realm often communicates through the dream state when your conscious mind is at rest. You might receive symbols, messages, or even direct encounters with this person from your past while you sleep. Keep a dream journal by your bed. Record what you remember upon waking. Look for patterns, for recurring themes, for messages that seem significant. Your dreams are preparing you for this reunion more than you realize. Also, be mindful of synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. You might hear a song that reminds you of this person. You might encounter their name repeatedly in unexpected places. You might find yourself in locations that hold memories of your shared history. These aren't accidents. They're breadcrumbs leading you toward the divine appointment that awaits. Type, I notice the signs, if you're committing to being aware of these divine nudges. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be wondering if this person from your past is a romantic connection. For some of you, yes, this reunion does involve someone with whom you shared romantic history. But for many others, this is about a different kind of significant relationship. Perhaps a friend who once meant the world to you, a mentor who shaped your path, a family member from whom you've been estranged, or even someone who challenged you in ways that led to profound growth. The divine realm orchestrates many types of reunions, each with its own purpose and potential. What matters most is not the nature of the past relationship, but the purpose of the coming reunion. And that purpose is always evolution, yours, theirs, and the evolution of the connection between you. Type, I embrace growth, if you're ready to meet this person, not as who they were or who you were, but as who you both have become. As August approaches, I encourage you to engage in practices that clear your energy and raise your vibration. Spend time in nature, where the elements can cleanse any residual heaviness from your field. Meditate regularly, creating space for divine guidance to reach you more clearly. Practice forgiveness of yourself, of others, and especially of this person who's returning to your life. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means releasing the energetic cords that bind you to past pain. Type, I release, if you're willing to let go of what no longer serves you before this divine reunion takes place. The angels want you to know that you're being held in this process. You're being supported. You're being guided every step of the way. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to orchestrate the perfect reunion. You simply need to remain open, aware, and trusting in the divine plan that's unfolding. The details are being handled by forces beyond what your human mind can comprehend. Your job is to prepare your heart and to show up fully when the moment arrives. Some of you might be feeling resistance to this message. You might be thinking, I don't want anyone from my past to return. I've moved on. I've closed those chapters. I understand this hesitation. Change, even good change, can feel threatening to the part of us that craves security and predictability. But I want to remind you that growth rarely happens within the confines of comfort. The most significant transformations often come through encounters that challenge us to expand beyond our current understanding. Type, I choose growth over comfort, if you're willing to embrace the divine discomfort that often precedes expansion. Now, let's talk about recognition. When this person from your past returns in August, how will you know they're the one this message is about? The answer lies in the resonance you'll feel. There will be an undeniable knowing, a sense of, this is it. Your body might respond with goosebumps or a flutter in your heart. Your mind might suddenly recall this very message. You might experience a moment of déjà vu or a sudden clarity about why your paths are crossing again. Trust these sensations. They're your spirit's way of confirming what your logical mind might question. For some of you, this reunion will be initiated by them. They'll reach out, they'll make contact, they'll create the opportunity for reconnection. For others, you'll be the one to make the first move, perhaps guided by an intuitive nudge that feels impossible to ignore. And for some, the reunion will happen through circumstances that neither of you directly create. A mutual friend, a shared event, a coincidental encounter that feels anything but coincidental. The method is less important than the meaning behind it. Type, I trust the process, if you're surrendering to however this divine appointment unfolds. I want to share something important about divine timing. August isn't just a random month. It's a time when the veil between dimensions thins, when spiritual energy is particularly potent, when transformation is supported by cosmic forces. It's a time of harvest, of gathering the fruits of seeds planted in earlier seasons. The reunion that's coming is a harvest of its own kind, the culmination of growth, lessons, and preparation that both you and this person have been experiencing separately. There's a ripeness to this timing, a perfection that you'll recognize when it unfolds. Some of you are wondering about the purpose of this reunion. Let me assure you that it's multifaceted. For some, it's about closure, the opportunity to heal what was left unresolved. For others, it's about new beginnings, the chance to create something beautiful from the ashes of what once was. For many, it's about integration, weaving the lessons of the past into the fabric of your present. in a way that strengthens rather than weakens you. And for all, it's about divine orchestration, the recognition that your journey is guided, that your connections are meaningful, that your experiences serve a higher purpose. Type, I accept the purpose, if you're open to discovering the unique meaning this reunion holds for you. As August draws nearer, you might notice an acceleration in your own growth process. Issues you thought were resolved might resurface for final healing. Patterns you've been working to change might become more evident for final release. Dreams and aspirations you've held in your heart might suddenly feel more urgent, more possible. This is all part of your preparation. The divine realm is helping you clear what needs to be cleared, strengthen what needs to be strengthened, and awaken what needs to be awakened before this significant reunion takes place. Type, I welcome acceleration if you're embracing this intensified growth period. Now, I want to address a question that might be arising for some of you. What if I don't want this person back in my life? What if our history holds pain I don't want to revisit? This is a valid concern, and it deserves acknowledgement. The divine realm honors your free will. This message isn't asking you to welcome someone who harmed you back into your life unconditionally. It's inviting you to recognize that if paths cross again, there's purpose in the crossing. That purpose might be a brief exchange that brings healing. It might be a conversation that allows truth to be spoken. It might even be the opportunity to maintain healthy boundaries from a place of peace rather than pain. Type, I honor my boundaries if you're committed to engaging with this reunion in a way that respects your well-being. For those of you who have been actively hoping, praying, or wishing for reconnection with someone specific, this message comes as confirmation. Your heart's desire has been heard. The energy you've been sending out is being responded to. The divine timing is aligning for what you've been seeking. But I want to caution you about expectations. The reunion might not look exactly as you've imagined it. The person might not say exactly what you've hoped they would say. The outcome might not match the scenario you've played in your mind. Be open to the reality of what unfolds rather than clinging to the fantasy of what you've envisioned. Type, I release expectations if you're willing to let the divine plan unfold in its own perfect way. As we continue this sacred conversation, I want to remind you that you're not alone in this experience. Many others listening to this message are being prepared for similar reunions. There's a collective energy of reconciliation, of reconnection, of returning to significant soul connections for the purpose of continued evolution. You're part of something larger than your individual journey. You're participating in a divine orchestration that's bringing many souls back into alignment with their highest paths and purposes. Type, I am part of the divine plan if you're recognizing your place in this larger spiritual unfolding. Now let's talk about the practical steps you can take to prepare yourself for this August reunion. First, engage in self-reflection. Consider what you've learned since this person was last in your life. How have you grown? What wisdom have you gained? What would you do differently now? This reflection isn't about dwelling in the past. It's about recognizing your evolution so that you can meet this person from a place of authentic growth rather than recycled patterns. Second, practice presence. The more fully you can inhabit the present moment, the more clearly you'll recognize the significance when this reunion occurs. Present awareness allows you to notice the subtle energies, the meaningful glances, the words beneath the words. It enables you to engage with what's actually happening, rather than with your projections about what it means or where it's leading. Type, I choose presence if you're committing to this essential practice. Third, purify your intentions. What do you hope will come from reconnecting with this person? Be honest with yourself about your motivations. Are you seeking validation, vindication, reconciliation, a new beginning? There are no wrong answers here, but clarity about your intentions will help you navigate the reunion with greater consciousness and purpose. And remember, the highest intention is always alignment with divine will, being open to whatever serves the greatest good for all involved. Fourth, prepare your heart through forgiveness. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or pretending everything is fine if it isn't. It means releasing the emotional charge associated with past hurts so that you can engage with the present reality rather than with the shadows of what was. Forgiveness is ultimately a gift you give yourself, freedom from the burden of carrying old pain into new possibilities. Type, I forgive, if you're ready to release what no longer serves your highest good. Fifth, strengthen your boundaries. Knowing what's acceptable to you and what isn't is essential for healthy engagement with anyone, especially someone with whom you share complex history. Boundaries aren't walls. They're guidelines that honor your well-being while allowing for meaningful connection. Before August arrives, get clear about where your boundaries lie so that you can navigate this reunion from a place of self-respect and authenticity. Now, I want to share something important about the energy of August itself. It's a month of transition, the final full month of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, a time of abundant harvest before the turning toward autumn. There's a richness to August energy, a fullness that supports completion and culmination. This quality makes it particularly conducive to reunions that represent the fruition of separate growth journeys. The heat of August also symbolizes passion, intensity, and the burning away of what's no longer essential. It's the perfect energetic backdrop for encounters that hold transformative potential. Type, I feel the August energy if you're tuning into the unique qualities of this significant month. As this reunion approaches, you might notice changes in your physical body. You might experience shifts in your sleep patterns, changes in your appetite, or fluctuations in your energy levels. You might find yourself spontaneously cleaning and organizing your space as if preparing for an important visitor. You might feel drawn to certain clothing, colors, or scents that connect you to the time when this person was in your life. These are all ways your physical being is responding to the energetic preparation taking place. Honor these changes. They're part of your alignment with what's coming. Some of you are wondering about the exact timing within August, while the specific day varies for each of you based on your unique divine timing. There are certain power periods within the month that hold particular potency for significant encounters. The days surrounding the full moon, which occurs in the middle of the month, carry especially strong reunion energy. The final week of August also holds powerful completion energy that supports the closure or new beginning this reunion represents. Pay attention to unusual pulls towards certain dates or events during the month. Your intuition is guiding you toward your divine appointment. Type, I trust my intuition if you're willing to follow these subtle internal nudges. Now, let's address another question that might be arising. What if I recognize who this message is about, but I'm not sure I want them back in my life? This is where discernment comes in. Not every past connection is meant to be rekindled in the same form it once took. Sometimes a person returns simply to allow for healing conversation. Sometimes they return to deliver a message or a lesson you're now ready to receive. Sometimes they return to acknowledge their own growth and to make amends. And sometimes, yes, they return because the connection between you is meant to evolve into something new. Trust that you'll know what's right when the moment arrives. The clarity you seek will come with the reunion itself. Type, "I trust my discernment," if you're willing to wait for this divine clarity to emerge. I want to share something the angels have been emphasizing about this reunion. It's not just about the person who's returning, it's about who you've become in their absence. You've been on a journey of your own, learning, growing, expanding in ways that have prepared you for this divine appointment. The person who returns will be encountering not who you were, but who you are now. And this present version of you carries wisdom, strength, and perspective that will transform the nature of the reconnection. You're not the same person they knew before. Remember this when doubts arise about whether anything has really changed. Type, "I honor my growth," if you're acknowledging the significance of your own evolution in this divine equation. As August approaches, maintain awareness of the lessons this particular soul connection has already brought into your life. What did you learn through your previous encounters with this person? What strengths did you develop because of challenges they presented? What parts of yourself did you discover through the mirror they provided? These lessons are the foundation upon which the coming reunion will build. They're the wisdom you've already extracted from this significant relationship. Acknowledging them helps you approach what's coming with greater consciousness and appreciation for the soul contract you share. Now, I want to address something important for those of you who are currently in committed relationships. If the person returning from your past represents a former romantic connection, you might be feeling concern about how this reunion could impact your current relationship. Let me assure you that divine orchestration doesn't create chaos or destruction. This reunion isn't meant to undermine what you've built with someone else. It's meant to bring healing, closure, or new understanding that actually strengthens your capacity for authentic connection in your current relationship. Trust that if boundaries need to be maintained, you'll have the clarity and strength to maintain them. Type, "I honor my commitments," if you're approaching this reunion with respect for your current relationship. For others listening, the person returning might be someone with whom you share family ties. Perhaps a sibling from whom you've been estranged, a parent with whom communication has been difficult, or an extended family member who once played a significant role in your life. Family reunions carry their own unique energy, often touching our deepest wounds and most ingrained patterns. If this is the nature of your coming reunion, approach it with extra self-care and realistic expectations. Family healing often happens in layers, rather than all at once. Be willing to meet the moment with compassion for both yourself and the other person, recognizing that family dynamics are complex and deeply rooted. Type, "I embrace family healing," if you're preparing for this type of significant reunion. For still others, the returning person might be a friend who once meant the world to you, someone with whom you shared formative experiences, deep conversations, important milestones. Friendships hold their own special magic, and when they're interrupted or ended, they leave distinct gaps in our lives. If you're being prepared for the return of a significant friend, consider what this connection offered, that no other has quite replicated. There was something unique about what you created together, something the divine realm sees value in rekindling or resolving. Type, "I value true friendship," if you're recognizing the significance of this type of reunion in your journey. As we Continue this sacred conversation. I want to remind you that preparation is as much about inner work as it is about external circumstances. The most important aspects of getting ready for this divine appointment involve your consciousness, your energy, your spiritual alignment. In the weeks leading up to August, prioritize practices that center you in your authentic self. Meditation, prayer, time in nature, creative expression, movement that connects you to your body. All of these help you remain grounded in who you truly are, so that when this reunion occurs, you meet it from a place of centered strength rather than reactivity or old patterns. Type, I commit to inner work if you're dedicating yourself to this essential preparation. Now let's talk about the concept of divine timing. Why August? Why now? The divine realm operates on a schedule that often differs from our human understanding of time. It takes into account not just your readiness or theirs, but the collective energies, the astrological alignments, the spiritual seasons that support certain types of encounters. August 2023 carries specific energies of completion and new beginning that perfectly support the nature of the reunion that's coming for you. This timing isn't random. It's precisely calculated to provide the optimal conditions for what needs to unfold between you and this person from your past. Type, I honor divine timing if you're surrendering to the perfect orchestration of when this reunion will occur. Some of you might be wondering about the long-term implications of this reunion. Will this person become a permanent part of your life again? Will this be a brief encounter with lasting impact? Will it change the course of your journey moving forward? The answer varies for each of you based on your unique soul contracts and life purposes. What I can tell you is that regardless of the duration or form this renewed connection takes, its impact will be significant. The divine realm doesn't orchestrate meaningless encounters. This reunion is part of your soul's curriculum, part of your evolution, part of your path toward becoming who you're meant to be. Trust that whatever unfolds serves your highest good, even if the purpose isn't immediately apparent. Type, I trust the unfolding if you're willing to let the significance reveal itself in divine timing. As August draws closer, pay special attention to the messages coming through your intuition. You might receive specific guidance about where to go, who to talk to, or what to do that will lead to this divine appointment. You might feel inexplicable pulls toward certain locations or events. You might experience sudden memories of this person that seem to arise from nowhere. These are all ways your higher self and your spiritual guides are helping to align you with the reunion that's being orchestrated. Don't dismiss these subtle nudges as coincidence or imagination. They're breadcrumbs leading you toward what's meant to be. Type, I follow divine guidance if you're committing to honoring these intuitive messages. Now, I want to address a concern that some of you might be feeling. What if I'm not ready? What if I still carry too much pain or anger from what happened before? This is a valid question, and it deserves a thoughtful response. The divine realm doesn't bring people back into our lives before we're capable of handling the encounter. The very fact that you're receiving this message indicates that on a soul level you are ready, even if your conscious mind doubts this readiness. The growth you've experienced, the healing you've done, the wisdom you've gained have all been preparation for this moment. Trust that you have within you everything you need to navigate this reunion with grace, strength, and authenticity. Type, I am ready, if you're claiming this truth about yourself. For some of you, This reunion will lead to healing conversations where truths that have long been held inside can finally be expressed. For others, it will bring opportunities for forgiveness, both offering it and receiving it. For still others, it will open doors to new forms of connection that weren't possible before due to where each of you was in your individual journeys. The nature of what unfolds will be unique to your specific situation, but in all cases it represents advancement, movement forward on your path of growth and evolution. Type "I welcome advancement" if you're open to the progress this reunion represents. As we move deeper into this sacred message, I want to emphasize something important. This reunion is as much about you as it is about them. It's about your capacity to stand in your truth. It's about your ability to see clearly rather than through the distorted lens of past pain or future fear. It's about your willingness to be present with what is, rather than caught in regrets about what was or anxieties about what might be. This divine appointment is an opportunity for you to witness your own growth in action, to experience yourself responding from your evolved consciousness rather than from old programming or patterns. Type "I embrace my evolution" if you're recognizing this reunion as a mirror for your own transformation. Now let's discuss how to recognize the signs that this reunion is imminent. In the days leading up to the encounter, you might notice increased synchronicities related to this person. Their name might appear in unexpected places. Songs that remind you of them might play repeatedly when you turn on the radio. You might dream about them more frequently or more vividly. You might even experience physical sensations, a tightness in your chest, butterflies in your stomach, or a warmth spreading through your body when thoughts of them arise. These are all indicators that the energetic connection between you is strengthening as the physical reunion approaches. Pay attention to these signs. They're confirmation that what's been divinely orchestrated is about to manifest. Type "I notice" the signs if you're committing to this heightened awareness. For those of you wondering about the nature of the encounter itself, know that it will take the form that best serves the purpose of the reunion. It might be a planned meeting where conversation can unfold without time constraints. It might be a brief encounter that delivers precisely what's needed in a concentrated moment. It might be virtual rather than in person if physical distance separates you. The form is less important than the essence of what's exchanged between you. Trust that however it unfolds, it will provide exactly the right conditions for what needs to be communicated and experienced. Type "I trust the form" if you're surrendering to however this divine appointment manifests. As August arrives, maintain an attitude of openness and curiosity. Approach each day with the awareness that this could be the day of the divine appointment you've been prepared for. This doesn't mean living in anticipation or putting your life on hold. It means being fully present to your journey while holding space for the significant encounter that's coming. It means moving through your days with an open heart and clear eyes, ready to recognize the moment when it arrives. Type "I remain open" if you're committing to this balanced state of awareness. For some of you, the reunion will be immediately recognizable as the fulfillment of this message. For others, it might take time to realize the significance of what's occurred. Either way, trust that your soul knows. Your spirit recognizes what your mind might question. The resonance you feel is your surest guide to understanding the divine orchestration at work in your life. Type "I trust my resonance" if you're willing to honor this internal knowing above external validation. Now, as we approach the conclusion of this sacred message, I want to remind you of something essential. You are held in this process. You are supported. You are guided. The divine realm doesn't deliver messages like this and then leave you to navigate the experience alone. The same forces that have orchestrated this reunion are walking with you every step of the way toward it and through it. Call on this support when doubts arise. Remember this assurance when fears surface. You are part of a divine plan that's unfolding with perfect precision, and every resource you need is available to you. Type "I am supported" if you're claiming this truth for your journey. The angels want you to know that this August reunion is just one piece of a larger tapestry being woven in your life. It connects to other experiences, other relationships, other growth opportunities in ways your human perspective can't fully comprehend. Trust in the greater pattern. Trust in the wisdom of the divine design. Everything is connected. Everything is purposeful. Everything is guiding you toward the fullest expression of who you're meant to become. Type "I see the bigger picture" if you're willing to trust in this larger unfolding. As we come to the close of this divine message, I want to leave you with a final encouragement. The reunion that's coming in August represents both an ending and a beginning. It's the completion of a cycle and the initiation of a new one. Approach it with reverence for what has been and openness to what will be. Carry with you the awareness that you've been specifically chosen for this experience because of your capacity to receive what it offers. Trust in the divine timing, the divine purpose, and the divine love that's orchestrating this significant encounter. Type "I receive all that's meant for me" if you're opening your heart to the fullness of what this August reunion holds. Know that you're being thought of, cared for, and guided every step of the way. Until next time, may the angels surround you with their love and protection. May divine wisdom illuminate your path. And may you walk in the certainty that you're exactly where you're meant to be on this sacred journey of becoming. Thank you for watching.